Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the OCS Finals. I am, as always, Mr. Dan Tartaglione, also known as D Tartag1. Joining me tonight is not my normal co-host, but Mr. Logan. I have no last name because Dan does not know how to pronounce it. Pedic. How you doing tonight,
Uh,
Logan?
there you go, Pedic. I'm doing well. I know you guys are used to Garrett, the face so beautiful it deserves to be on radio, but I'm gonna do my best to fill in the spot for him tonight.
You got this. Your dad believes in you. So tonight we have a really good match for everybody. It is on one side, in one corner, we have Pat Johnson, and on the other side, we have Hall of Famer, has won a lot of majors, and just finally has won his world champion this past year, Mr. Greg Shaw. So first, before we go into the match, why don't we talk about take a look and see how the players got here. So here's our bracket. Starting off with Pat because he's just on top of the bracket, like on the higher seat essentially. Pat first had to go through Jeff Levine, Kyle Kruger, and then most recently Matt Harrison Trainer, who is our defending champion. Greg, on the other hand, quite had just as difficult of a path. First was Ryan Jelson, second was Jared Konsker, and then most recently the guy who he beat in the World Championship to win his first World Championship ever, three-time World Champion, Hall of Famer, has the best red beard ever, Joe Olson.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say Captain Redbeard.
I
Um,
I got it. Don't don't worry about it.
yeah, I think the thing that stands out most to me about both of these guys' runs is you look at the guys that they beat, and they're just incredible match play players. You look at guys like Jeff Levine, you look at guys like Matthew Harrison Trainer, obviously Joe Olson, Sam Tashima, Konsker, just some absolutely phenomenal match play players. And considering
Definitely.
that
Yeah.
the OCS is a match play format, seeing that they've like not overcome, but had some tough matchups and been able to play as well as they have and get to the point they have. It's just you know, says a lot about their skill, and we're gonna hopefully see some of that tonight. Not gonna see some Logan versus Garrett level gameplay tonight.
Yeah,
So
nobody wants to see that. So here we go. Pat is starting off with light side, going against Greg's dark side. I do expect to see some first order range decks here. So it really depends. Okay, we have Watch Your Step versus Hunt Down V. Was not expecting that.
yeah, Pat has
Well,
been pretty vocal about what he thinks the best light side is, and Pat has been a player where he's a big believer, and I think this is the best deck. I don't care if people know it's
hmm
going to be coming. I'm going to be playing it. So it's no
yeah,
surprise to see him on Watch Your Step, but to see Shaw on Hunt Down V, I want to say I'm surprised, but we saw a stunning move last week, so I
yeah.
can't say I'm too
So
surprised.
I think we're seeing Greg more on Hunt Down V because he was expecting Pat to play Rescue the Princess V. Pat has been playing that deck since that's what got him to the top eight at Worlds. Speaking of which, this is actually a rematch from the top eight at Worlds. Greg took down Pat in the top eight at Worlds most recently, and so we kind of have a rematch. But yeah, I think Greg expected to see Rescue the Princess V. So, what are your thoughts on this matchup? Like, we know that Pat's going to have space. Greg might have some space, but it's not the best space package.
Yeah, I think going into this matchup, Shaw is kind of expecting either Watch Your Step or Rescue the Princess, just because those are probably the two best light side decks in the format against the general field, and he knows Pat is very comfortable about it.
Hmm
I like Hunt Down into Watch Your Step. I like Hunt Down V into Watch Your Step because of um the bonus that you get from the flip side, getting to add +2 to all of your total or your not your destiny draws, but to your inquisitors. Adding
hmm
1 to your inquisitors and 2 to your total battle destiny makes it easier to be able to deal with the forfeit bonus of Watch Your Step characters because a lot of the smugglers are not super high in forfeit, so +2 becomes a 5 or a 6, and the +2
Yeah.
from Shaw kind of negates that. Um,
I
the
mean,
other card that I think is going to be massive is the fifth brother, who stops the forfeit in
yes.
total. And
Yes.
it's going to be interesting to see if Shaw decides that that's more valuable in space, but most likely we'll see that on the ground. I would
Hmm.
expect it at the cantina, but at least that's where I would put it. Now, Greg Shaw is probably a better player than I am, so we'll see if
Definitely.
he. Okay, that wasn't needed. If he agrees with me, or if he's going to take a different line. I'll be interesting to see how he decides to play this first turn though.
I'm agreeing with you. So on top of the fifth brother, we have the ninth sister who says if you don't have a character of ability greater than 3 here, you don't get destiny.
Hmm.
A lot of these smugglers don't have a lot of ability, so she's going to come into play. So we do see that Greg drew some cards. After he activated, he did have the bridge in his opening hand, and he did get out a Malachor site. So not a bad site, but I do think that it's going to come down to the ground game, and I think that between the tricks that Pat has, he might be able to stop it. I do see Visage coming into play a lot here
Um,
for Pat. It's like Greg's not probably not going to have a lot of Visage damage, but it's going to be enough to do some damage. So we do
the
see.
the thing is though, with Hunt Down Virtual, it's not as big of a factor because you're only losing one per cycle versus two.
Mhm.
Um, so only losing, saying only, but losing 5 cards over 5 turns is very, very different from losing 10 cards over 5 turns.
True.
Um, the other thing is if PMJ is not able to keep Luke on the table, he's probably going to be losing the game just because of how much value Luke brings. He gets around the ninth sister, keeps Vader honest because that might be your only way to remove
Hmm.
him with weapons. So I think Visage will come into play, but I honestly think for the first couple of turns, giving PMJ potentially access to more interrupts in his lost pile is going to be more beneficial for him than it will be for Shaw.
Yeah, and I believe, yeah, Sam in the chat saying that with the amount of battleground site, Pat just needs to stay alive on the ground, and I agree with you 100%. We do see that Pat went with the Outrider and Dash Rendar to Corellia. Uh, we see that Greg has played We Must Accelerate Your Plans to get We Must Accelerate Your Plans. There's a not within sight or reach to go get Thrawn or Avanto into hand, and he is taking Mithron Renudo. So I like the Mithron Renudo here, but I think it's more just getting a Destiny 1 out of your deck.
Well, I
So
mean, Mithron Renudo kind of threatens um,
the possibility of a
it,
space package, yeah.
yes. Now, it's not as important because it's far less likely that Pat has space weapons, but
You never know.
Shaw is more likely going to go down when he goes down in space, going to go
Yes.
down at a system where Nien Nub isn't and where he can put a Inquisitor, because that's the big part. Being able to do a force loss from canceling text and get the
Hmm.
+2 to total battle destiny is going to be huge.
I
I
also think
think. No, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say this is actually a good turn if Greg has the ability to go to space right here. This is a turn to do it because the Outrider only has Dash on it. Now, Dash draws unable if unable
Ooh,
to otherwise.
yeah,
So,
I don't like the play of going after Dash unless you have the first strike as well. The issue with going after Dash is put the um, you put the Emperor Shuttle at Corellia, which is a Parsec 1, meaning even if you kill Dash,
yeah,
PMJ can go Falcon plus Han plus Chewie plus
whatever.
another ship potentially and a guy to the Cantina, and now you're looking at, oh shit. Um,
Language,
sorry.
family
Um,
friendly. But
yes.
I like
Um,
what Greg is doing here, going down with Vader from the castle.
100%.
He's got the Vader's lightsaber already on Vader, and I do think you're right. You're gonna see Vader probably go to the cantina.
Yeah, it's just the Cantina is the most important place for Greg to be with Vader because Vader is so much harder for Pat to remove than any other character. The other thing
Hmm.
is Pat is most likely playing Menace Fades. So the only place where you would be able to get a drain of 2 off consistently is at the Cantina. If you go to Mos Eisley,
I was gonna,
Pat
yeah,
can
Mos
control the
Eisley.
canteen or control the Cantina and reduce it, and your force
Well,
drain bonuses will be canceled at
yeah,
the other sites.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong because we see Pat goes and plays Escape Pod and We're Doomed to take a Jark in hand. And there's a sense from Greg right off the bat, Pat with the control to cancel the sense.
I would grab this.
The control, I agree. I think control is the card to
Mm,
grab, but there it goes to the lost pile. So the Escape Pod and We're Doomed will go into effect. And again, this is on Pat's turn. So, and Pat does grab the Hoojiks.
the
They're
so
Howjiks.
I'm a big believer. The thing we'll see interesting here is I don't know if Shaw is going to decide to play the Battle Order Shield. I think personally I would choose not to. So we see
Agreed.
he doesn't either.
Yeah, make Pat play it.
I'm a big believer in pull or grabbing the control tunnel vision as Greg, especially if you can grab it before it's played from Lost Pile, because then
Hmm.
you're stopping the uses in the future and the threat of it. But if Shaw is saying, okay, Pat's out is going to be to stay alive on the ground, my out is going to be to stay alive in space, I would absolutely love to see saving the grab for a moving into attack position, which is what I think the non or not grabbing control tunnel vision is signaling is he's thinking his out to winning this game by more than 5 cards is going to be the shuttle. I agree, Sam. I don't think going after the outrider at Corellia is the best play. I don't
Yeah.
know if he's playing the dreadnought, but the shuttle is most likely going to be sitting at Kessel, and if that's the
Hmm.
case, I would much rather have the moving into attack position grabbed. Now, if he's playing a
There's
second grabber, which is what I think dark sides have to be doing,
agreed.
I would have, excuse me, I would have liked to see grabbing the control tunnel vision, but
Hmm.
I'm not a 3-time world's finalist and a 1-time world champion and a Hall of Famer and an all-around good guy. So I'm going to default to saying I understand not grabbing the control yet.
And we see Corin Horn going down to the docking bay. And yeah, we see Pat did grab the Kessel before he flipped. So he is going to get a use pile pool with the I must be allowed to speak in Smuggler's Blues.
I
So,
believe Garrett would say it's pronounced I must be allowed to cheat in Smuggler's Blues.
well, you're not Garrett. I know he's your father and all, but
I'm here. He's here in spirit, Dan. He's here in spirit.
quick announcement in the middle of the game while Pat was searching his use pile. We will have a little bit of a break in between the games as we have a little bit of a halftime show. So be ready for that as we see the Outrider does move to Tatooine. And I think I mean, Greg's going to get a lot of force on his next turn. He's going to have 19 to work with, and there's the battle plan.
Mm-hmm. And see, this is why I would have liked to see a control tunnel vision grab, just because it stops the threat of Pat being able to play it from Lost File. Yes. Yes.
And there's the
And
first strike. So we do see a first
mhm.
strike from Greg. And there's the visage damage. Pat will lose one as we see him deliberating.
Yeah,
Deliberating.
I think as Pat, you're saving 1 for the grab, 1 for the control tunnel vision, potentially 4 for it's a trap, but you're also like if you're not grabbing something, you could be threatening like a fallen portal, a moving into
Hmm.
attack position, like I said.
There's a lot he can threaten with this deck, and we do see him
Hmm.
lose a few maneuvers from hand to the Visage Ping.
Yep. The one card that
And
I would I want Pat to make sure he's not relying on is the dodge, just because of um it's very common for hunt down virtuals to play things like the comm scan detection, but also I'm pretty
mhm,
sure one of the inquisitors stops reacts if there's a hatred card at his location.
you
I
are
could be wrong
correct.
though.
Yeah, no, you're correct. I think it's the eighth brother.
Okay, but
I,
yes,
I
it's
honestly forget which one it is. This is where Garrett would talk about his handy dandy Comlink app. As we see, Greg
uh
does pay to drain. Pat will play the control tunnel vision from his lost pile to cancel that drain, and it will be stacked onto the useless Jester and Death Star Sentry shield.
mhm, yeah. So now with 13 force, you're not really threatened. Oh, that's a
That's a
nice
good card.
card.
Blast door controls V that works really well. It will not only will it as I'm
Stops
hovering,
blasted door
yeah, yeah,
hitting.
yeah. Blastador Kit, Narrow Escape, and Rebel Barrier. And then if they move away or cancel the battle, they also lose a force. So really good card here to have in his hand. We see that there's the Grand Inquisitor coming down, putting the top card of his lost pile onto Corn Horn. Corn Horn's game text is canceled.
Yeah, so I mean that just says that PMJ has no intention of letting this battle go through. He's got 5 force saves, probably just going to be an It's a Trap 4 force and then something like that.
Well, he's going to lose 2 force. He's going to lose the It's a Trap plus the force from the. Well, he's going to lose 5 force here, or 3 force. I'm sorry. The first strike damage, the damage from the blast door controls, and then the it's a trap. So there's the first strike. Greg will not
you don't pay
retrieve
one
one.
to retrieve one. It's sense. You can't play it.
Yeah.
There's no reason to retrieve. It's one of those cases where like, oh, you have 8 force left. You should probably retrieve one because it's it's getting
Draw
a card
cards.
back.
Draw cards.
It's a Destiny 3 that you can't ever play. Well, if you can play again, you're already winning the game. But
yeah, I think it's better for Greg to draw the cards here and just to get more cards in his hand. There's the he loses. Menace fades off the top of his use pile. There's the It's a Trap. There's one more point of damage. Again, the It's a Trap is a lost pile. We see there goes Choke from Pat's hand, and there goes the It's a Trap into his lost pile. So, I mean, the battle is canceled, but again, Pat just lost 3 cards, including the Menace fades.
Yeah, I don't know how. Oh,
and Vader
out of the
moves
cantina.
I don't hate it. Okay, he's just moving the he's moving the characters around. I think that's the right move.
Well, so like I think I like having jeez, wow, I can't speak. I like having Vader at the cantina because of how hard it is for Lightside to remove it.
Well, you got to think the other thing is like it's easy for Greg, or I'm sorry, it's easy for Pat to possibly satisfy for ultimatum at the start of the control phase. So at that point, moving Vader over, especially after seeing the Menace phase go lost, you know that you're probably going to drain for 2 at the docking bay and then 2 for the cantina.
Well, he's not going to be able to drain at both locations. Pat is going to either clear him off one of the locations or block one of the drains. What we might see happen is Pat deploys another character to the cantina, moves Corrin in, possibly sets up at Kessel, which I wouldn't hate at all.
And
now if you got Luke, it's a different story.
At the cantina.
And what we could see here is PMJ could just battle into the Grand Inquisitor with Luke and clear it, but
there's Talon card coming down.
Yeah,
that's going to get him a use pile pool.
The other thing that Shaw has to be careful, and to be quite frank, Shaw could be sitting on something if he was expecting Watch Your Step and Rescue the Princess, could be sitting on something like a Stunning Leader or a Stunning Leader. That's the dark side card.
That cancels the battle. Yeah,
would not be as outrageous as it sounds. But the other thing is like Luke is accounted for. You're probably not clearing Luke with this. Because he's got so much forfeit, but
yeah, that's a lot of forfeit. Here's Mirax coming down. That's going to give him another use pile. Greg will play the Menace Fades, or I'm sorry, not Menace Fades. We must accelerate our plans to go grab an effect.
Probably the No Escape. Might be the Blaster Rack. Also a good card.
I mean, that's a card that everybody has put into their Hunt Down B once Batmouse started playing it.
I've never heard of that card, actually. I don't know what it does.
Blaster Rack or Batmouse?
Blaster Rack. I have no idea who Batmouse is either.
So we do see a battle from Pat. He's going to initiate.
I
was going to say, losing the No Escape kind of hurts. Yes. Now, Luke will swing. No retrieval from Pat. Pat will drop a 5, so the Grand Inquisitor is going to be hit.
I like not swinging or not retrieving one.
Yeah, I don't mind
because you kind of want the It's a Trap. Like, you want to know where that is. If you retrieve it, you could Mirax it next turn because you activate the 14. But there's a lot that could change over the course of the turn. It's nice to know where it is. You won't be able to play it next turn, but it's just nice to have that.
Pat draws a 4 for his first Destiny.
Yeah, Shaw, I'm really hoping that you've got a Gick in that hand. Otherwise, this is going to be a short game one.
So that's going to be 20 for Pat. And I'm assuming that Greg's going to
And
lose or I'm sorry, Pat's going to lose Mirax here. As we see, Greg draws a 5, and action is on Pat. Does he have something here?
I mean, he could be sitting
Nope.
on something like a they're tracking us if he was expecting
Hmm.
first order.
Yep,
But
there
there's
goes
no reason to
Mirax.
play it.
And again, the Grand Inquisitor is going to go lost here, +9, unless Greg has a Gick.
Mm, it taking this long tells me that he might be top
Nope,
trading.
he's peeling. So Greg does not have the Gick. Greg is losing 9 force. As I, again, am looking to something. So he loses the Vader, another Vader, second sister, Grand Moff Tarkin, ninth sister, seventh sister, Daylong remembered, not within sight or reach, and a third sister. Wow.
Yeah, I don't really like that play. There was no reason to be as aggressive as he was. He could have just moved the Inquisitor into the Cantina. It's just like with how many use pile pulls or a force pile pull with control, it felt like an unnecessary risk.
Hmm.
And now Pat is basically set up to just control the game for the rest of the game. Now
Yeah.
Shaw could have a counter beat with something like a
I mean, he does.
Mara plus
Yeah.
Fifth Brother plus Dark Strike on Luke or something of that nature, but no
Yeah.
Kessel out means it's harder for him to get set up. And honestly, you don't want to force a drain race at this state in the game, even
Mhm.
with Menace Fades gone.
So we do see that Pat moves Corn Horn into the Cantina. There's the Blaster Rack from Greg after he activates his 14. He does not drain, so this is telling me that he wants to battle.
Yeah, and 6 cards is enough for a swing and 2 Battle Destiny for a cancel redraw. It's enough for 2 swings and a cancel redraw. Like there's a lot that
Hmm.
you have access to here. And if he's not canceling and redrawing, it's 2 swings and 2 Battle Destiny. So a lot of potential here for Greg.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like Greg just lost 9 in that battle, but he's still not out of it. Like
No.
I mean, we do know that Pat has the Haltix in his hand, so he has some protection there. But the bigger thing is, if Greg is able to clear that Cantina, Pat's not really doing any damage to Greg. And there you
And there's
called
the
it, Mara
Mara.
Jade with lightsaber, who is going to get a new image with set 25 or 26.
Yeah, which this is gonna sound funny coming from me because I'm younger than 2 of Garrett's kids, but I'm gonna be keeping it as is. So
As we see, there's the ninth sister coming down as well. Now,
yeah,
we do know that Greg has the Dark Jedi lightsaber in hand. The only thing is the Dark Jedi lightsaber, while it has the potential to hit a character, more importantly, the character retains its forfeit value. As we see, Greg will stack the Grand Inquisitor onto Luke to attempt to cancel his game text, or
well
make
they'll keep their forfeit value, but they can't be
they can't
used
be
to
used to
satisfy
satisfy
attrition,
attrition. Yeah,
and you're not overflowing that site, so it's effectively the same thing.
yeah, and
You're equal in
so
power, and Shaw has another character, or not Shaw, sorry, Pat has another character and another battle destiny.
hmm So we do see the Dark Jedi lightsaber going on to the Ninth Sister. Pat will retain Luke's game text by losing Captain Lando Calrissian. There's the damage from the first strike. Greg will retrieve a third sister. Pat will lose Malos V.
Yeah,
Dark
and I
Jedi.
think you swing at Luke and then
Hmm.
Talon if you can.
I agree. And there's the
There's the
dodge from
dodge.
Pat.
Com scan. You might be thinking about the grab first and then the com scan.
I don't think you grab it.
No, like I can understand grabbing it because
I
it's
agree
such
with
an
you.
annoying card, but
And we do know that Pat has a Jedi's Resilience in his lost pile, and he hasn't used his lost pile pool this turn.
well,
So
he
there's
he won't be able to play anything from Lost Pile during battle because it would cost him 2 force to stack it, and then another one from First Strike, and he's got nothing left.
true. So Luke will not be hit.
Um, Greg not canceling and redrawing the Fifth Brother means he has the far more frightening than death, I think is the card name. So he's going to be able to draw an extra battle destiny. There's no reason you wouldn't take the second best character in your deck into hand to cancel
Luke
and redraw,
Luke
unless
swings at the Ninth Sister and
you
hits
had a
the Ninth
reason to add
Sister.
one.
Yeah. If Pat has sorry about the mess combo here. I like playing it because that makes the lightsaber go loss, and Greg can't stack it onto Blaster Rack. He does not have the sorry combo, so the lightsaber will get stacked.
Yeah, sorry combo is just such a unique card for Watch Your Step to play. I don't not
I mean,
surprised that he's not playing it, but
if you're
you're right. That would have been an incredible moment to play it.
I do like it if Pat had like so with characters such as Val who have guns, or Chewie with bowcaster, Chewie with blaster rifle. You have characters for with weapons, so I don't
Well, yeah,
hate it.
you have characters with weapons, but the concern is your average destiny is already as bad as it is.
Hmm.
It's harder for characters like Chewie and Val to hit characters. Um, Again, the value when you get it to work is insane, and you can play it from your lost pile because you watch your step. But
Yeah,
like, it's harder to hit the characters that you would like to remove when you'd like to remove them. You
Mara.
know,
Yeah,
like if you would have been able to, sorry about the mess, Mara before she gets the swing off, and
that would have
now
been good.
like that would have been great. But like with, it's a lot harder for you to hit characters, and I really don't like. I would have liked to see Shaw cancel and redraw that fifth brother when he drew it,
Hmm.
because
So,
having that character
uh,
in hand would have been very nice.
yeah. So Greg will end up winning the battle by one. Uh, Pat has 6 in attrition. Greg has 5. So Greg is not going to have any characters at the cantina. Pat's only going to have one, I believe.
Yeah, he's gonna lose Luke. He's gonna lose Corrin. And then we'll probably see Shaw move Vader in.
Hmm. And Garrett in the chat is saying that Pat could have been able to clash Mara. Unfortunately, you can't because he's only got 2 force saved. It would have cost him 3 forces to use the clash.
Yep.
So, Mr. Garrett Larson, pay attention. And
And there's the
old
old Ben.
Ben. So old
Yep.
Ben, like he's that's going to bring Luke back, and that's better than Ninjago's resilience.
Mm-hmm. And this also means Shaw will take a damage from Visage, and he'll have to think twice about walking Vader into that site.
Exactly. Like this turns it like if Greg does have, say, the force field here, it's not a bad idea still.
You could still get overflowed if you
But
walk Vader in there without a gick.
yeah, and Greg does quoting Garrett. Do I even know how to play this game? Does anybody listen to me? There's my
Uh,
that's my Garrett Larson.
I don't know about the first part, no to the second part.
So Greg does lose a card there. It will be the We Must Accelerate Our Plans. He does only save 1 force, so it's not going to be a force push.
I think with the stream delay, Sam probably said that before the 2 force, but I agree. It's like it's one of those things where like even if you have the ability, you're making a play like, oh yeah, I have the Hoojix. It's like you don't really want to be doing that on turn 3 or 4. Like force push is good. You don't necessarily want to be doing that in a battle where you're using it,
Hmm.
because if you don't, you lose the game.
So we do see
Oh,
that talent card shows a card, and it is Eli Vento in the Dreadnought. Sam is on top of things tonight, as
nicely done,
usual.
Sam.
Sam, another one of our top 16 in the OCS. And we'll see Han Solo to take a look at Pat's deck. There is no Millennium Falcon in the reserve deck there.
Yeah, it's very hard for Shaw to go to space at this point in the game because he's going to get stuck at one of the systems, and neither one of those systems is fun to be at.
Hmm.
As we see, Han comes down, probably just checking his destiny, potentially
Yeah.
Chewie with bowcaster, something like that.
Chewie, the problem with Chewie with Bowcaster is he has the ability to get his game text blank with Vader. Pat will initiate though.
Yeah, he's just more power though.
Like he's already up 11-6, and with a lightsaber swing with Luke.
Yeah, and I like not retrieving one because again, it gives you access to that old Ben.
Hmm. As we see, Luke will swing his lightsaber at Vader. No force field. There's 5. He needs a 2 or higher here.
Ooh, that'll miss.
And it's a 1. That's going to miss unless Pat has a response. Nope. Vader is going to stay alive and retain his forfeit value.
I don't think Vader is much long for this world, but uh,
As we
yeah,
see.
I think the issue is the Kessel Run build is just too slow, or too
Mhm.
slow, not efficient enough to slot intensive, whatever your poison is. And just
Talon
getting
card,
your extra drain 1 is pretty nice.
yeah. Talon card will have his game text blanked with Vader. Vader
Yeah,
passes action. Vader will swing at Talon Card.
and he can play the dodge from Lost Pile again.
There's the dodge.
Mm.
And it does get stacked. So we'll see -3 from each of the swings. We have a 2 that becomes a -1, and that's the Gick. So that's some information, and a 2. So Talon Card's going to stay there.
Yeah,
Now,
that's not ideal.
yeah, right now Greg is down by 5 before Destiny. So he's essentially up 2, including the forfeit value. So, and Greg's going to stack the lightsaber onto the blaster rack. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Pat will draw a 5 for his first Destiny. And a 4. So, yeah, Vader's going to go lost, and his power is 20. So, right now, Greg is
Down by 1.
down 1.
2.
Down by 2.
Yeah, I just knowing that Greg had no Gick in hand, leaving the Inquisitor on his own with no tricks just
Seemed a
feels like
little,
it
yeah.
was too risky.
As we
If
see,
it's turn 8, it's a different story, but
yeah.
Han goes lost.
Han goes lost, and Vader will also go lost here. So, this is the second Vader that's going to hit the lost pile.
First one from hand, right? To the original 9 overflow.
Yeah. As we see, there goes the fifth brother and a third sister. So Greg's losing characters at this point. And there goes Vader. And we know the no escape is in the lost pile as well. I
Could
think
just
if
be
you're,
hoping to retrieve the Vader if he battles this upcoming turn.
yeah. And he's already, so, and he has already used the Vader's Castle pool. So Pat drawing 3 cards, saving 5, passing turn over to Greg. Talent card will have his game text returned, and he will lose the card here to Visage.
Yeah. Pat saving 5 means he doesn't get access to things like It's a Trap unless it's from hand, but he can still play something like an Old Ben from Lost for 4 at this point. No, 5. He can play Old Ben, but that's
Yeah.
assuming he doesn't play another interrupt during battle.
So he does lose an all wings report and Dark Lighter spin.
Thank you, Sam. I still got it sometimes. Guys, Sam said I'm correct. That's good enough for me tonight.
Okay, everybody, we can end it now. Sam has said
Mhm.
Logan is correct. I mean, yeah, it does happen once in a while, but
I mean, I'd say it's about like the same as once every Steelers playoff win. Maybe once every season they don't go 10-7 or 9-8. Maybe something like that.
hey, the Steelers were good at one point.
The Steelers were good before I was born, Dan. That doesn't help.
Touche. So Greg does activate. He activates saving 4. Life force count right now is 14 for Greg. And Pat at 24.
The Steelers being good in mine or Dan's, because it's pretty close to not being good in Dan's lifetime either.
They've won 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime. They've been to 4 in my lifetime.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
think you're right, Sam. Sam in the chat.
it could be like a blast points in hand, and he wants to just yes.
Well,
That-
to be fair, Greg is taking some time here, and again, we'll after this game, we're going to have a quick break as we see another Mara Jade with lightsaber come down to the cantina.
It's irrelevant. Go going. Not important.
And there's a Mara Jade with Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, if you're Pat here, there potentially there's a something like a dodge in hand. I would consider not playing it and just using the 5 force on the old Ben. Depending on, especially because it's blank 5. If he swings at, I mean, they're both defense value 5, so it's like he's hitting either one as long as it's not his last 0 on top.
Yep, and Pat will lose a Blastador kid off the top, which means he can actually play that right now.
Blast door controls.
Plus,
You really
oh
do
yeah,
not want to play that right now.
yeah, you're right.
You would be lighting 4 force on fire.
Yeah,
5 force on fire.
yeah. I said he could play it, not that he should. So Marjay's going to swing at Luke, draw 4 for the first weapon, Destiny. Draws a 5, so Luke's going to be hit here. Greg did retrieve the Vader.
Yeah, and
there's a sniper dark strike.
yep.
Chris Goglin in the chat has pointed it out. Greg loses a force to play it. And Luke will be lost. Or no, he's going to play it's a trap to cancel the sniper dark strike.
Yeah, he.
Luke swinging at Grand Moff Tarkin. Draws knee and nub. The quick look. It is the important knee and nub. And he draws a 3, so that's not going to hit Tarkin.
Yeah, no old Ben means the site's going to be clear, so Pat's not going to get another free damage, or possibly 2.
Yeah. Greg draws a 5 for his first Destiny.
Means he doesn't have to Hoojix either, so.
Yeah.
I would just love to
Pat draws a 2.
Give AJ a quick shout out because we found out that Blastador Kid had a used function in almost the same exact scenario. So.
And yeah, Pat's going to have to clear the site here. As we see Mara Jade stick around at the cantina, and that flips Pat back. So very good sequence of events for Greg.
Yeah, the one thing I would be concerned about is you got Mara sitting at the cantina. You know Greg doesn't have a Hoojix in hand because, well, there it is.
Yeah, it does go off the top there to the Visage.
2 smugglers or 3 smugglers, 2 aliens and a smuggler, which he clearly doesn't because he's paying to drain. But I would be going at Mara this turn. Now, if he doesn't really have the stuff to do it, I totally see just draining, drawing a couple cards, getting set up for next turn.
And that's what he's doing.
Because of the fact that you are effectively ahead 11 cards here, you can afford to do so.
Yeah, and Pat will play All Wings Report in, and Dark Leader Spin to go grab a Starship. He does grab the Pulsar Skate. It was a Destiny 2, so getting a 2 out of his deck. More importantly, Greg can't grab that. There's quite a Mercenary V to take a Chewie or Mercenary Armor into hand. He doesn't see one, so Greg will verify.
For those of you who are not able to watch the screen at the moment, Shaw has 3 in hand, 13 face down. Pat has 10 in hand, 19 face down before he loses 1 to Visage. So effectively 28 to 19 life force and hand right now.
And you got to think
Shaw's turn.
Yeah, and you got to think Greg's going to activate. He's going to pay the 3 to drain. Now the question is, does Pat have It's a Hit? Does he have another control tunnel vision? He's going to Walkling a card back. He's going to put Walkling out of play to pay 1 to retrieve an All Wings Report in a Dark Lighter Spin. And Greg has the imbalance. Pat will grab it. It is going to cost Pat a card. Nope, it could be worse, and he's going to just negate that damage.
Now, I'd love to see Shaw grab it and then cancel it. At this point in the game, you're not grabbing moving into attack position.
I don't know what you're grabbing if you're Greg. Maybe like a random.
It's going to be
there's the It's a Hit.
It's a hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Because it's it could be worse. I think we had this conversation the other day when Joe was playing. When it comes down to It's a Hit versus It Could Be Worse, it's better to grab It's a Hit because of the fact you can track both with Mirax, but one costs you force to use and the other doesn't.
Yep. As we see Eli Vento and the Dreadnought go to Corellia. Greg has 1 card in hand. There's Mithral Renudo onto the Dreadnought. Now, Greg has established himself in space. And
yeah, it's just you just saw Pat upload Pulserscape. This just does
But
not feel like
here's
the
the thing,
best
though.
opportunity.
We know that Murex is dead. She's in the lost pile.
He still's got a ship.
Yeah, I know he's got a ship.
2 smugglers draws 2 battle destiny.
Yeah.
Pat gets to retrieve an extra force.
As we see Luke go down to the cantina.
Oh, that hurts.
Wedge Antilles goes down as well. That's going to flip him.
Yeah, and it's also possible that this turn we just see Pat drop his hand on the cantina, because if he clears the cantina, Shaw doesn't get to drain in space. And we see Rio allows him
Yes.
to put a card back down, so he's adding another one to his life force.
Yep. So Pat does initiate.
I think
He will retrieve.
I think it's a 5, and then the other 5 was the top card of his force pile,
It should be 5 and 5.
He activated with Rio, though. Wasn't it 3 force and then the 5?
Maybe,
Neither.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was 5/5 and then the 4. So there's the Chewie and the Mara. That's a miss.
Wow, that's twice Luke has missed this game.
Yeah.
I mean, Greg is still essentially he's not getting overflowed. Mara will swing at Luke.
I don't know about the not getting overflowed part.
Luke's going to be hit. Well, right now he's covering 7, and he's down by 6 in power.
He covers 13 because Mara's forfeit +1 at the cantina.
Oh, you're right.
So, and I guess even in battle destiny. So Greg is peeling effectively his destiny -2, unless if they draw even on one of them.
Pat draws a 5.
I know it sounds bad, but if you're Greg here, you are considering just peeling the top.
It's possible depending on, okay, so it's 10 to 20, so he's only losing 3.
Yeah, he's got 1 card in hand, and Pat can put cards back potentially. Like,
yeah,
I definitely. I guess he can still lose. He can peel the 10.
So Rio Durant will go lost.
And he's gonna choose not to. He's just gonna lose the 2.
Yeah, and we're probably So, and I do think we're gonna play the old Ben to put Luke back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's costing him 5, but yeah, with 1 card for Greg, I don't think you. Oh man, it depends on what he's got, because like we know there is a Vader in the deck. Okay, there goes a force push and a we must accelerate our plans. He's got 8 left with 1 in hand.
Okay, I take it back. I definitely would not have peeled there because you get an extra damage with Visage.
Yeah.
But Pat was most likely going to lose that from hand.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have something like a 5th brother I think we'll probably just see.
It depends on. Okay, so he does drain. So this tells me that he's not willing. He's going to cost some loss. There goes the Hujix from Pat. Greg did activate everything, so we're not going to see a battle. I think if you're Greg, we're probably going to see him draw out and then just lose the Visage and then to the drain. And then, so Pat will win game 1 by 23.
Well, he's going to take another drain and another Visage. I take it back. That was a misspeak on my part. I was miscalculating how much damage Pat was going to take by Shaw just draining and making him take another turn or 2. So I definitely would not have peeled now because he's going to cause an extra 2 damage, I think.
Yeah, and Pat's going to lose from his hand. As we see, Greg loses all the cards from his hand to those drains, so he's down to 5 total.
Yeah, I understand why
Pat can't actually end it right now.
No, that's why I don't like losing the Han, or not the Han, the Falcon to the drain. I guess he had Kessel as the last card.
Yeah.
And, he loses it, so it makes sense. But
Greg activates everything.
Yeah, that's just a tough spot if you're
Pays the drain. There
trying to
goes
min max it.
knee and nub. So Pat's still going to win by 20 plus.
It's gonna be 21, I think.
So there's the visage damage to Greg. Greg down to 4 cards. So yeah, he's not going to be able to drain. So Pat's going to lose 1 more damage to visage.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Greg decides to draw up. Nope, he's not going to draw up. So as we see him lose the blast points and sniper dark strike to the drain of the cantina. There's the drain at the Tatooine system. So again, Pat's going to lose 1 here.
Yeah, I don't think you want to draw up at that last turn because 3 less cards in your lost pile is not as important as 1 less card for Pat's life force.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Pat's going to win by 21, and it's going to be, and then Greg just draws his last card before he ends his turn. So you have, yeah. So again, Pat is going to win game 1.
Pat wins 21, 20 to 40 in life or in lost piles. I sent you a message about it too, by the way.
And you said 20 to 41 or 40?
20 to 40. Alrighty. Dan, I think it's our time to shine now. Garrett, I don't know if your eyesight is just bad because you're old or you just can't read, but that's a 21 there. 9 plus 12 is 21. I love you.
Garrett's got that Minnesota math.
Minnesota math? No. Mine's way better. Don't throw me under the bus there.
So before we get back into game 2, we do have a little bit of an announcement. We're going to spoil the rest of the cards from set 26. So don't move from your seats if you want to see them. So first up, so we do have those cards ready. First up is Guri. Guri V. So she is a pilot. She has 2. She's going to be power 6, armor 5. Provides 2, while Guri and Shizor are present at the same site. Force drain +1 here, and Shizor may not be targeted by weapons unless Guri's hit. While your reflection 2 objective on table draws 1 battle destiny if unable to otherwise, and immune to attrition less than 5. So gives your Shizor some form of protection. Yes, you do lose the ability to essentially reduce, make it so that your opponent can't draw more than 1 battle destiny, but this is a different take on Guri, and I like it. The bigger thing that I like is she only deploys for 4.
Yeah, I'd say the most important part that Guri is keeping is obviously that Shizor may not be hit by or targeted by weapons. I think one minor detail that I don't know how big it'll be, but is the Guri non-virtual says just may not be targeted by weapons, even if she's hit.
Mm-hmm.
The force drain force drain +1 is nice. It'll be interesting to see if that moves the needle against some of the matchups that Black Sun has already struggled with. But I think you hit the nail on the head here. The deploy 4 versus the deploy 6 is game changing.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So moving on down the line, we have our next card, which is Information Exchange. Deploy on table. Black Sun agents are forfeit +1 and defense value +1. So that Guri that we were talking about becomes a 7 forfeit armor 6. Once per turn, if you deployed an information broker, make sure exchange the top card of your force pile with any 1 card in hand. And then your Affections 2 Emperor deploys -1 and moves for free. So gives you a reason to play that Emperor that nobody plays.
Yeah, I mean, it's Black Sun, I think, is at the point where most of the time players choose not to deploy the Emperor to the free site anymore, just because it takes so much longer to get it set up. The part that scares me is I've watched Johnny Chu play Black Sun in the retro era, and now the fact that he gets to do it, yeah, it's disgusting. And now the fact that he gets to do it twice as much per turn, is just,
yeah.
I'm gonna go get my Chris Kelly signed Luke's and see if I can try and stop them from flipping. I think.
Good luck.
Yeah, I mean the stipulation that you have to deploy a information broker is obviously a big barrier, but
How many information brokers are there?
there's
A few.
I don't know. The
Well, that's
let's
the
take a
question for
peek.
another time. Moving on, our next card is Rystal V, who is a musician. So again, uh, Mr. Scott Lingrell is happy because he has a new musician to play around with. Power and forfeit +2 while at a course on site. Once per turn, if you just deployed a Black Sun agent to the same site, you may retrieve 1 force. If a post maintenance cost card just deployed here, it may not battle for the remainder of turn. So hey, guess what? Lando, I like it because it's thematic, but again, giving Black Sun some force retrieval, even if it's like a little bit, it's kind of nuts.
This is I don't I may just like change the game text of my aim high so that it just says like I'm gonna befred my aim high and just say must pull against Black Sun. Joe Olsen is really gonna get hurt by this though. I'm not looking forward to that for him.
Moving on, our next card is Omnibox, and it's worse. So for the remainder of turn, you lose no force to the following cards on table, if any. A good blaster at your side, no disintegrations, Stardust, and they will be lost and confused. Cancel the blast the door, kid, or it could be worse, immune to it's a hit, or shuffle any player's reserve deck or lost pile. So I kind of like the card. I mean, yes, it does hurt WAP, which is one of my pet decks,
Get it
but
out of here. Blanket. WAP,
this
not
card
this
or
card.
WAP? No,
WAP.
we got to keep WAP in play. Keep WAP in play. No, I mean it's good. It does stuff. The fact that it cancels it could be worse is really good, and it's the Destiny 5 cards that you can cycle because you can just shuffle any deck at any time. It works against a lot of cards that we do see play.
Yeah, my one comment for the card is I don't know if no disintegrations needs to be on table or needs to be on the card just because you can already capture a character that hits and not have to deal with the force loss because they don't get returned to normal. So I don't know if that's as important. I always love WAP hate, so this is totally fine with me. I
Get
might
out.
just play like 3 of these in every deck. I'll put it next to my limited resources. Those will go in every deck from now on.
And moving on, we have a light side card launching the Assault V. If your Endor or Rebel Blaze location on table may deploy the home one or Solist. Home one is deploy equal 8 to an Endor or Death Star 2 system, and its power may not be reduced. Once per game, home one may move as a react to the Death Star 2 to Death Star 2 Falcon's location or vice versa. I mean, I want to see. So I don't. It does take away the ability to add one. I think this is going to be a card that Timo is going to like because you could play it into Rescue or Rebel Strike Team. Outside of that, I'm not sure.
We may see this in something like a Hitco build here or there as people are experimenting. When it says is that may deploy home one or Hullist or Sullust per turn, or is that like you get one? There's some cards that say like and you can get both of them. It's just once per turn.
Once per turn.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, your first turn you deploy Solus, and then your second turn you get out the home one.
Knowing my luck, I'll activate the home one on turn 2, and then I'll miss Akbar the entire game. But if you're like Batmouse and you can actually not miss your pulls.
We do have our goated design advocate in chat. He says you can deploy both on the same turn. So boom, lawyered. Moving on, we have Kashyyyk, Chewie's Hut. So Wookiees are going to get some lovin'. Deploys only as a starting location. Once per turn, may pull a Wookiee. While Wookiee homestead on table, no force drains here. And dark side, nothing. It's blank.
I'm just picturing Ryan Jellison jumping up and down like a kid on Christmas right now.
I'm pretty sure this is a Ryan Jellison design card.
That would make sense. But That's funny.
So that, as we go blank and start up everything again. Oh, wrong screen again. I'm messing everything up. I'm sorry, everybody. Good thing we're not live. That's set 26. I believe all the cards have been spoiled. Uh, Again, everything is subject to change until everything is released. I will say this: if you're following along with set 26, holy crap, the design, our graphics team has done a beautiful job on this set.
It's like Garrett's still here.
Oh, trust me, I'm just as old and just as curmudgeon as Garrett. So let's go ahead and get our players back into their table, into GIMP. Let them know.
I gotcha.
So we will go ahead and pull back into GIMP right now. Again, game one was won by Pat by 21.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I would not be surprised to see Pat whip out First Order again, just because, like I said, he's a guy who is going to say, this is what I think the best deck is, and then just play that, just because that's, I think it's a pretty sound strategy, right? This is the best deck, so I'll play the best deck.
Yeah, I got no reason why that, but I mean, that is Pat's MO.
It'll be interesting to see if that's what Shaw is expecting, and if he's gonna play differently because of that. It's possible that, I mean, we saw him beat a couple of First Orders. We saw him beat First Orders with Luke Saga, with Ray Saga. There's a wide variety of ways that could happen, but going into a game needing to win by 22 is definitely going to be tough, especially if he's on a deck like Watch Your Step.
So looks like Greg is ready, as he did post the game in chat. We're waiting on Pat. Let's do a trivia question really quick. Let's give away some GEMP packs. Really quick. First person in chat, and not Logan, who can name how many information brokers Darkside has.
Oh, I was actually just about to tell the chat how many there were, too.
I know you were. That's why I came up with it. Chris Kelly, 8.
That's not correct.
Multiple ones. So V and non-V.
Are we counting personas or just actual cards?
Cards.
Okay.
So like, I'm not saying
Porg.
So I was going to say, like, I think Talon Card is one, but if there was Talon Card V, then you'd have to name both of them. So
24. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at just the dark side ones, which is why I thought Porg was correct.
That's what I was saying. I only said dark side.
Oh, then Tommy's correct.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15! Tommy, you won it.
All right. Wow. All right. So
our players are ready. Let's go ahead and
if you want to click watch game, this is not.
What? Rebel Strike Team?
Okay.
So Tommy, you won our first trivia question. What?
Yeah, I don't. So this is not Luke Saga or Ray Saga. Nick, I'm in the same boat, dude. This is a new one for sure.
So again, Pat is going with the First Order Reigns deck. Greg going with Rebel Strike Team, starting Insurrection, Strike Planning, and Walkling V.
Throw me another charge. Gets an explosive charge.
Why not? You know what? I actually don't hate it because, I mean, yes, he is down by 21. He needs 22 to win. He has the potential to do a lot of damage.
I mean, he does. The only noticeable thing is he's not starting the Tatooine effect that does bunker stuff.
and I don't
Yeah.
know what it does because I play real decks, not like Rescue the Prince or Rebel Strike
Well,
Team.
that's
But
because you're not a two-time, you're not a world champion, and
Correct.
that's
correct.
why you don't play decks like this.
No, that's why I play good decks like Lightside Senate. Apparently,
Hey, Lightside Senate is a lot of fun.
fun is
So,
certainly a word. But
so
what it means
Pat's,
though is there's no retrieval from flipping or blowing it up.
yeah,
There's just the damage. That's
yeah,
what I was getting at with my spiel there. Sorry.
yeah. So Pat already gets his supremacy out to Crate. He has both Crate sites. There's blast points to go get himself a Gick. He is going to get the Gick combo. He does have the track fleet is at Dakar, and it will move over. So Pat's going to activate 2 more. Good first turn by Pat.
Yeah, it's
Greg's
about
going to
everything that you could ask for.
Greg getting himself a General Crix Maydeen with Strike Planning V. And there's another General Pool. Getting himself General Calrissian, who pilots the little Millennium Falcon, or the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he still could be. Yeah, I agree, Vampire. He still could be playing it.
He could be, but it's one of those effects that you'd really like on table because you get the bonus activation.
Yeah,
And none of the effects that you're starting really seem like effects that you could flex.
Walkling you want, Insurrection you want, but I like the Strike Planning because it allows him to deploy the Death Star 2 Falcon directly to Endor, so he
Mhm.
has some presence in space. So again, Sam left us, so I was going to ask if they figured that Pat was going to be playing it, and there it is. There's the shield door. The shield is down V, so the card that Logan completely forgot about.
I'm gonna pull a Garrett and say, why do I even bother? Or Garrett? What do you say? Do
Garrett,
I even know what I'm talking about, or something
I was
like
going to
that?
say, Garrett, get off my lawn, you dang kids. That's what he says.
Yeah,
General
that too.
Crix Maydeen going down to the Rebel Landing site. I believe it's the Rebel Landing site. It's a forest. Crix will pull a scout. Will we see? Okay, over. How many Corporal Beezers are we going to see in this match?
0. If we see more than 1, or if
Get
we
out.
see more than 0, I think we check to make sure that Greg is doing okay, because I think there's. I understand it's Ohio that loves Corporal Breezers, right?
No,
Or who likes Corporal Breezers? Who's the
Frodo.
Okay,
It's Connecticut.
Connecticut. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Connecticut's probably okay. That's not true. I know Connecticut is probably like placing bets on all of this and hoping for a Corporal Breezer, but I does
If it's a Corporal Beezer, you owe everybody again pack. Everybody in chat.
Genpack. I'm broke. I don't even know what Corporal Beezer does.
Good stuff. As we see,
Devices.
Greg will pull Commander Melshi
Yeah,
as he
Melshi
goes and
is
gets a back
super good.
the battleground site from his reserve deck.
Okay. Beezer is amazing. All right, guys.
Yeah. Okay, Batmouse,
stop.
being that you're the sheriff, if we see a Beezer on the table at any point tonight in this game, you owe everybody a Gemp pack.
I love that I'm off the hook.
Well, and yeah, well, that's because you have no power. There's
Correct.
the Ewok village going down. As we see, there's the Home One docking bay as well. Ewok village, again, no vehicles and starship, profit of the force. More importantly, it's a 2-1. So there's Melshi going down.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, Batmouse.
As we see him taking another charge into hand from Melshi.
Yeah, and
Strike
I like
planning to
this
get
play.
the Falcon. Yeah, no, I like exactly what Greg is doing.
He's behind. He's behind the 8 ball. He's got to force some action here. And quite honestly, even if Pat decides to go at him in space, he'd have to commit a ship, risk getting barriered, and Shaw has a lot of counter beat potential.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not so much in space, but on the ground he does. On the ground is insane. As we see, there's the track fleet moving to Crate. So Greg loses a force there.
I just got flashbanged again. I need to figure out how to turn on like permanent dark
And
mode.
Greg does not. He saves. He drew up everything. There's the
Yeah,
battle
I
plan.
mean, I also understand this because at the same time, you're really behind and you need to force things. But I always like saving the one just because you're like threatening the idea of the barrier. Um,
Yes.
I talked to MHT at Worlds about the percentages. Like you need to bluff certain actions a percentage of this time, and you need to represent actions a certain percentage of this time. But if you're not if you don't have the force to even like bluff it, it just makes it so much easier for Pat to want to come beat down the Falcon
The
or Gold
Falcon.
Squadron 1 in this case. But
Well, is it Gold Squadron 1? Yeah, it's Gold Squadron 1. It's not. Yeah. Uh, I mean, it is immune lesson 4, and Lando does add 3, and he does draw Destiny, but outside of that, he doesn't really do much. Like you were saying, as we see, there's the finalizer getting revealed,
yeah, and I
and
I
he is
like
going to
not
go to
going
the
at
car.
the Falcon, or not deploying in front of the Falcon.
Yeah,
You're threatening the
it's.
beatdown, which would be good, but at the same time, you're ahead by 20, right? This is one of those where you can afford to play your game and not have to worry about
Mhm.
really taking an alternative line like Shaw because you're still threatening the pace of the game, but you're not putting yourself in a position where like, oh, I won by 20, I'm just not going to do anything turn 1 or
Yeah,
turn 2 because I don't need to. Stuff like
yeah.
that. So
And Pat will get a use pile pull with bow to the first order. As we see Kylo Ren going down to the outpost entrance, that's going to get him another use pile pull. I'm going to say this, Emperor. I don't think anybody is saying that they're not ready for the errata. It was watch your step for Pat, hunt down V for Greg. As we see the supremacy moves over to Crate, and Pat passes her. Now, Greg, I mean, neither player have to pay drain at this point. Greg will, or I'm sorry, Pat will take a stormtrooper into hand with General Hux. Gets himself Captain Phasma. There's a drain for 2 at Endor. And Pat has the Calm Scan V that will cancel that drain because the Falcon is alone.
oh, that hurts
Greg
if
will
you're a
drain for
fan of
1
Shaw.
at the Rebel landing site. There goes a First Order Stormtrooper, a card that he can get back with the objective. I mean, how could you not be a fan of Greg Shaw, though?
Well, he's a world champion, Hall of Fame, illustrious Hall of Famer, all around great guy.
So I will say this: my thoughts on the First Order Reigns objective. One, I like what the start is with making Lieutenant Destiny 6 down to Lieutenant Destiny 2. You can't deploy him, and so you do have to. You're not going to run a lot. You're not going to run 4, 5, 6 copies. Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you, Mr. Mouse.
Um, the suggestion that I had brought up for changing First Order was I think one of the really strong points about it is how strong Dakar is. So I had suggested changing it from moving to free and moving for free and activating 2 to having to pay to move and then activating 1. So instead of getting 2 forts, it's
Yeah.
effectively a free move,
Uh,
but it's not fully free. That was my original suggestion.
the other thing, and I know this sounds a little crazy, but having an objective where your light side player can't flip you back unless they lose a battle. It's either you put the objective out of play or it never flips back. That hurts so much, and it does way too much. I feel like
I mean,
as we see Cal
yep.
Alder get taken into hand with Crix Maydeen, like
Yeah,
having
I think the deck does a lot. I think part of that is just like whenever you release new things, it's hard to effectively balance the power scaling. And I
Mhm.
think now that we've had more playtesting and we understand how the deck has functioned a little bit better, we can try to better balance it. Uh, I think obviously, our playtesting team does a lot, but it's hard to anticipate how every way the deck is going to be played because there's so many creative players in the community, and everyone is trying to break everything when they build it. So
Um, honestly, Joe, I'm not 100% sure. I want to talk to Greg and find out what he's thinking about.
Rebel Strike Team does commit a lot to the table. With the new addition of, or is it Orn Miko or someone? There's somebody that allows Rebel Strike Team to drain +1 at most of its Endor sites.
Yeah,
Which is what honestly makes the difference. You, instead of draining for 2 at the system and 1-1-2-1, it's now 2-2-2-3-2 if you get that opportunity. But
yeah, you can't cancel their drains. Um,
mhm.
one card I do want to see from Pat, like there's two cards, Imperial Decree and Imperial Decree V. If he has both of those on table, I like his chances. As we see, there's the back door and the bunker. So Greg is again setting himself up rather well. As we see Corporal Midge going down to the back door. That's not Corporal Beezer.
Yeah,
And there's the Endor Commando team.
that's where I was. Corporal Midge, that's his name. Wow, he's a decipher card.
Well, on top
Oopsie.
of that, yeah, Pat points it out too.
Pat.
Midge and Melshi have the same image. So we need to get an AI of Melshi.
Huh.
And there's the deactivate the shield generator as it gets stacked onto the bunker. And there's an explosive charge. That
That'll flip
does
him.
flip. Yeah. So now Greg can start draining for more than just the one each turn. And his drains cannot be canceled.
Yeah, the only thing is he's still really not threatening a lot of damage, and Pat is. Pat is
So
threatening 5 damage, and other than an explosion, he's threatening 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess now it's more with Solo moving in, but
mhm.
you still have to be careful because Pat has the opportunity to come beat you up, and Midge is currently sitting there by his lonesome, and
Well, Mitch can move into the bunker,
he can, but oh,
or
somebody move for free? Am I tweaking?
yes, yeah, they move for free. And yeah, you're right, Joe. Fallen Portal is in play as Melshi moves into the bunker as well. So, but again, Greg saves no force. So if Pat comes down with a beat squad, I mean, you do have to take into consideration that Pat is going to have, or I'm saying, Greg has rebel leadership. He's got 2 generals, or he's got a general at each location. So there's a lot that he can do. And we see there's the flip from Pat. So I mean, the track fleet wasn't, even if it was going to move, it wouldn't do anything. Like it would still go out of play.
Yeah,
As we see, there goes Antilles maneuver to the drain at the car, as well as the rebel leadership, and there goes Oromako. You called him, as well as Major Pano to the drain at the entrance cabin, and a punch it at the drain to crate.
yeah, and that's something that PMJ could have been worried about in space.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I don't like about this play by Greg is, like, sure, you're setting up to do 6 damage next turn, but
Possibly more, 14 total.
yeah, the issue is this, that you don't need to win the game, you need to win it by 22, and I feel like
Yeah.
you needed to be a little bit more aggressive, which is hard against First Order because of how strong the space is and how strong Kylo is and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, without something like a Menace Fades there, and now you could be getting battled into.
As
Yeah,
here,
there's
here we
Vic
go.
Roll.
Vic roll coming down.
He does not get it with that
No,
version.
no,
Correct.
he doesn't. Captain Phasma coming down as well.
There's a trooper in the lost pile that we could see coming back.
Yep, and Pat's gonna deploy that trooper.
Batmouse, the virtual one, just it doesn't do anything. No retrieval, no hand loss, anything like that. It's just the non-virtual one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the virtual one, I believe, pools the locations, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Snoke going down to the Salt Plateau.
Yeah, the charge can clear the site, but at the same time, Pat is perfectly fine with that. Because that
Yeah.
means the charge goes into use pile, the objective flips back, so he's only taking a drain of 1 at the bunker, and it sets Greg back, which he does not have time for. Like, he doesn't have a force to blast the door
Well,
kit
no,
or
it won't.
anything.
It won't flip the objective back. He has to control 3 exterior or the indoor system.
So
But it's the epic
those,
event. So, yeah, the charge
okay.
losing the charge would hurt.
Sorry,
So,
I thought losing the charge would flip the objective back because that's how it flips. But like I said, I think the big part is like it sets Greg back, and he just doesn't have time to do that, quite frankly.
agreed.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a drain of 3.
yeah, and you know it's
Pat
just one
loses
of those
4 law on
things.
first push and a Kylo with lightsaber. Drains for
Sucks
he's
to
gonna
forget to pull
see.
resistance sometimes.
Yeah. He doesn't drain at the indoor system.
He can't. Kylo's at the
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. So Crix is going to take a scout in hand. Pat saved 4 force though, as we see Captain Utani with blaster cannon getting taken into hand. Grace is sitting at 24 with 8 in hand. Pat sitting at 30 in deck or in life force with 7 in hand. Yeah. Oh, once you flip the Rebel Strike team, Garrison Destroyed may not be flipped. So, yeah, Greg's not going to flip again.
Well, there's an explosive charge. I don't know if that means when the explosive charge goes away, it can be flipped back or what, but
yeah. As we see Daughter of Skywalker V go down to the bunker. Fleet Admiral
Akbar.
Gale Akbar, who is a resistance character.
Yeah.
Which is cute. I'm just saying he's a resistance. I mean, he works really well. Like cancels lateral damage. You can put him out of play to cancel a battle.
The thing you have to be careful of when you place him out of play though is you then would only have one character there, so you can't force drain there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's more like you putting that extra character that means that you can actually force drain there for now. As there's a barrier on the Utani.
Thank you for answering my ruling question there.
When the explosive charge is removed, the objective can flip back. But the regular way, yeah, you have to control. So yes. So the barrier does not get grabbed. And again, you got to think that that Greg has either a rebel, he has a rebel leadership regular one or one of the combo one. You got to think he's got one of them here to make it so that Pat only draws 1 destiny. Okay,
Yep,
and we do see there's a trooper assault that's going to make those troopers immune to attrition.
Canceled by the Destiny 6 interrupt that Shaw plays.
And there it is. Throw me another charge to cancel the trooper assault. So
I would have considered grabbing that.
Yeah, I agreed. But Pat grabs the throw me another charge. What's funny is the trooper assault is not unique. So if Pat has another one, he can play it here.
Correct. He does not.
Leia's going to attempt to cancel Phasma's game text. She only uses a bit. Her game text is canceled. That will get it. So yeah, Pat goes from drawing 2 destiny down to 1. And Pat's going to put initiates Tauntaun Skull. Who do you lose?
He has a 4? No,
Kylo.
He played the trooper. Yeah, it's just Kylo.
Yeah, that's risky now. Oh, he can't target droids.
It says non-droid character, yeah.
Reading the card explains the card.
Well, Mark Walseth would say reading cards wins games. I think, however, Pat may still win this match. But
Well, no, he will. I don't
if
think Pat's going to win this game.
exactly. So
Yeah.
by
So General Solo is going to
transitive
attempt to take a
property.
non-interrupt card with Door in his game text in hand. He's just shuffling up his deck. I mean, Pat's down by 8 right now, so it's going to probably be Vickrell. Wow, Greg, with the deep cut saying that droids ain't got souls. Ain't got no souls. I want you to look at R2D2 and tell me he doesn't have a soul.
R2D2 commits war crimes. I'd rather not tell him he can or cannot do anything.
General Solo is going to play an interrupt from reserve deck here. Let's see which one it is. Probably I know. Or no, it's going to be Rebel Leadership to add a Destiny.
Yeah, I know. It's just like this. It's a really cool card when you get it to work, but this deck is already so slot intensive with the amount of characters you have to play. It's hard to find slots for extra stuff sometimes, and it's a good thing he did play the extra Battle Destiny.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Oof. So he draws Chewbacca and Pujix for a total of 3, so it's going to be 22. Pat draws a 5, so it's going to be 22 to 17.
Oh,
So
that hurts.
not necessarily. I mean, Greg won the battle.
Well, it just hurts because Greg had to play a card from his reserve deck and place out a play to add another Battle Destiny, and he still just barely got to what Pat had.
Yeah.
Didn't even, actually.
And, I mean, Pat's only going to lose Vickrell here. Greg's going to lose the Commando team. Yeah. Phasma has her game text restored. Okay.
Not that it'll matter, but Kylo is now out of play. So
That's why I was like, putting Kylo out of play kind of feels a little bad. Like, kind of a lot.
He only had one character in Lost File.
As we see, the Falcon moves from Endor to Dakar. I again, if you have some protection with Akbar there, so I can see it, but like you said, you don't necessarily want to do it. And the other thing is, I believe that increases the force or the immunity on the. Oh no, you need PV. You need PV there.
Yeah, the other issue is Shaw has effectively conceded this game because he is below that 21 mark.
Yeah. So he loses taking them with us, and until he's maneuver to the first train, he loses take the initiative. I mean, Greg still can retrieve, as we see Captain Moden Kennedy, who's also going to get a new image, and with set 26.
Hey, Frodo.
Frodo's in the chat.
No. Frodo is the new image for Captain
Kennedy,
Moden Kennedy.
No, Han cannot play from Lost. He plays interrupts from reserve deck. So we do have a battle, the finalizer against the Gold Squadron 1. Snoke causes a point of damage, which, again, I like that play from Pat because, yeah, Greg's sitting at 23 hand and life at this point. As we see do or do not being played.
No punch it. That means brutal.
It's Pat. You were saying?
I thought that was a react. Not gonna lie to you.
So the Falcon's going to be immune to attrition, and he's going to get 2 Destiny there. So good turn of events from from Greg Shaw. Pat draws a 5. The Falcon is only immune to attrition, less than 4, so Greg's going to have to lose a character there. But more importantly,
makes him fully immune.
You're right. And Greg draws a 6 for his first Destiny.
Well, that'll clear the ship.
2 for the second Destiny. I mean, that's going to clear the guys. And that clears system. Everything. So the finalizer and its 2 pilots are going to be down in play. Greg still has to lose a card, though. As we see him lose General Aaron Kraken. And Pat, again, loses everybody at Dakar. So
I wonder if Shaw is thinking that he can retrieve if he blows up the...
he can't retrieve right now.
He's not able, and he's not going to be able to because he's playing the shield is down virtual. But I wonder if that's what he's kind of expecting to happen. because if you have 16 cards face down and you need to win by 22 with 5 in hand, it's not looking good.
Yeah. I mean, but like more importantly, with Kylo being at the Salt Plains or the Salt Plateau, he can't retrieve.
All Shaw would have to do is put a character in front.
Yeah, and
I
then
just
walk
don't
away.
know where that retrieval's coming. Unless he
Mhm.
activates down to the 6 and plays like off the edge or something like that, but still.
Yeah. Pat draws some cards, saves some force, and passes turn over to Greg. Greg is going to drain for a decent amount here.
Would love to see.
I mean, Vampire. I think what we need to do is get Mr. Frodo Light's wife in some Corporal Beezer gear and have her cosplay into the image of Corporal Beezer. So it's a full art slip.
I would like to see Pat pull the resistance shield at some point. Oh,
And there's the column scan again to cancel the drain at Dakar.
well, he's still gonna drain for.
And there's the
Okay.
resistance shield. So it's only going to be a drain of 2 there at the back door.
No, that's brutal. Still has a scout in his reserve deck of 2. Hey,
True.
Brenderlin.
Yeah. Matt Thornton goes lost. Or I'm sorry, he goes into Greg's hand. That sounds weird. But Pat loses Lieutenant Dulfed Mitka or Lieutenant Destiny 7. As we see, Greg plays Uni Ta to get himself the top card of his lost pile, who is General Kraken. Kraken goes down in front of Snoke and Kyler.
Yeah, that'll be his 2 battle destiny there.
TMJ does have a lieutenant forfeit fodder in the lost pile, so
Yes,
he'll be
and
able
he
to
does.
play the
Yeah,
skull.
yeah, he has more than enough. As we see, Greg is going all out.
Yeah, you need to if you're Greg. The issue is still the fact
Mhm.
that you're down as much force as you are.
Yep.
And
So,
without, yeah.
so Greg initiates at the bunker, draws a 5. That is going to cancel Phasma's game text. He's not going to battle at the Salt Plateau, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and
And he draws a
TMJ actually
6.
doesn't even get to draw Battle Destiny because of canceling Phasma's
Yeah.
game text.
Yeah, he doesn't have the ability there.
That's brutal.
So if Pat needs the Gick here, or he's losing a decent amount of force.
Yeah, just with no cards in reserve deck.
But the other thing
It's
is,
hard for
but
Shaw
the
to
other,
really beat
honestly, here's the thing though. If I'm Pat, I'm peeling. I'm peeling everything.
down.
No. I'm peeling. Greg has 2 cards in hand, and he's got 15, so he needs to retrieve.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're saying to end the game. I don't know if I would have peeled the 11 there because it just makes it harder for you if you need to make a play that Shaw can stop. If you just drain and go to your draw phase, though, it gives you the initiative. If like
Yeah.
Shaw is not going to be able to do as much during your draw
True.
phase.
True. Okay, so Greg does put the Walkling out of play to retrieve the punch it.
Excuse me.
Midge moves out of the bunker, not to be confused by his doppelganger, Melshi. General Crixmadine joins him at the landing site.
Yeah, we'll probably see Solo and another guy move out to the.
Leia moves out.
That's not going to be enough to get him an extra drain or 2, but
Oh, and Greg will retrieve 1 with his objective. as he will retrieve Major Pano.
Oh,
And there's a set for stun from Pat, and it's not control set for stun. And there's the Blastdoor's controls V that's going to bounce General Kraken back to Greg's hand.
yeah. I know he has a trackable 5.
Yeah. And he
Which
can
is
play
really nice.
and he can play a first order trooper from the Lost Pile.
Thing you got to be careful of is Ken Sarek is there, so
True. Yeah.
it does make it a lot harder to deploy characters.
Mm-hmm. There's the drain for 1 at Crate. Unless Pat, of course, has your like if Greg loses from here to here, this is the turn that Pat just drops. So here's this magic card that Garrett loves so much, as he'll lose Major Pano off the top of his reserve deck. So no limited resource right now. We see Cardo come down for 6 force. Captain Peavy as well for 5. I think I still want that first order trooper though.
That would cost you 3.
Isn't he free?
-1 to a site with a first order leader.
Oh, okay.
And -1 is not free.
Yeah. Nope. That's it for Pat. Pat initiates. Snoke was going to cause a ping damage. There goes the Hoojix from the top. So Greg without the Hoojix now.
Probably will need it here.
Yeah. Kylo Ren's going to swing at Corporal Kansarek. He's going to draw 4. That's going to hit the Corporal and cause a point of ping damage. There's the 5. Yep, Kansarek is hit. Forfeit equals 0.
Lose the force.
Yep, lose the force. Greg will lose punch it off the top of the deck.
3 of them is, or no, he retrieved it. Never mind.
Yeah, he retrieved 1. So he's only
I
he's
thought he was
playing 2.
3 for a second. That would have been crazy.
Yep, Unita's going to put an interrupt out of play. Set for stun. Cardo is going to take a shot at Matt Thornton or Major Brenderland. That's a 2 for Destiny. I believe that hits. Yep. So he's also going to be forfeit equals 0. So only Sabine is left. And Greg is down by 11 right now. Pat draws a 4 for his Battle Destiny.
Sabine covers 16, so if Shaw draws a 5, he takes no overflow.
She covers 16?
No, sorry, like the site. The site there. With Sabine is 16. The 6 puts him at just losing 1.
Cardo goes lost to the 6 that Greg drew. As you see, Kansarek goes lost. Major Brenderlin, Sabine, and Greg has 1 more.
Yeah, Greg is still fighting here. He's got 12 face down. I think we'll either see a concede coming up. Thank you. Either see a concede coming up, or when he blows it up and realize he doesn't get to retrieve. Partially because Kylo's on table, we'll see a scoop here soon.
I mean, Greg knows that he can't retrieve, but I think he's going to do some damage here. He's going to do a lot of damage here, actually. So Greg activates saving 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no reason not to attempt to blow up the bunker. It is something we don't see. And Greg is going to attempt to blow up the bunker here. He draws a 1.
3.
Becomes a 3. And the 6, that becomes an 8. So that's his total was 11. Total becomes 14. And kaboom! Goes the dynamite. So Greg will move everybody to the bunker from he'll move to the back door from the bunker. Pat has to lose 8. Loses, I've come for what I've come for. The Hosian Prime, full of matrix, laser cannon battery, Dolfed Mitka, calm scan detection, off the top, no escape V, FN 2199, and there everything goes. Greg will drain for 2 at Dakar. Pat loses blast door controls and first strike. Drains for 3 at the back door. As we see Ablak Tentacle. And another set for stun from Pat. Drains for 2 at the Rebel landing site. As we see Ablak and a Tauntaun Skull go lost.
Yeah, I think if you're Pat, you probably just drain and then draw up here.
Yeah, I agree.
I think at this point in the game, without something like double off the edge, there's not really a real chance of Shaw coming back.
He would have to go with characters down to the Salt Plateau. As we see, there's the General Aaron Crackton. Cal Alder. There's secret plans from Pat. Again, Greg's going to retrieve one from his objective. But I just don't think he's got enough left. It depends on what that one card in his hand is.
I don't think there's any card in his hand that would be enough.
And it's knee and nub. As we see, Greg has nothing left.
This is where Pat should play his limited resources and just end the game next turn.
He can't even drain at this point. I think the course of the action here is draw.
Mhm.
Like Greg's going to retrieve 1, he's going to go to 14, and and Greg has no cards in hand at this point. He still has the possibility of retrieving, drawing some cards. As we see him draw Sabine Wren, draws 2, 3, so he's got 3 cards in his hand. But now he's down to 11 cards in Life Force.
Yep.
Pat activates 5. FN 2003 going down to the back door.
Could just be using this as a game ender, so to speak.
Yeah. As we see, the Supremacy will battle against the Gold Skull after 1. It's going to cause some damage because of the Snoke ping. So, and I think that's all what Pat is realizing. And then he battles with FN and essentially just says, okay, I'm taking overflow.
Yeah.
So Greg loses a card from hand.
Could see a battle at the Salt Plateau
Yeah,
first.
well, we're going to, yeah. We see a Rebel leadership to add a Destiny from Greg.
Hey, there's the card you're
draws the
talking
Imperial
about.
Decree V for Destiny. Again, Greg draws a 2 for his first battle Destiny. Now, the Supremacy is not fully immune to attrition. It's immune to a lot.
Less than 5.
But because of knee and nub, it's less than 5. As
I see what you're doing. My bad.
Yeah. As we see, knee and nub goes lost to the damage, but the Supremacy crashes and burns. There's the battle at the Salt Plateau, just as you were talking about. Snoke with another ping. There goes Luke Skywalker, Rebel Scout.
And Shaw doesn't even have enough ability to get that first battle Destiny and get a second one with General Kraken.
Pat swings. There's the I've Lost Star 2.
I don't know if you can cancel the battle at the back door, but
he doesn't have the force.
There's also no reason to. I mean, as Shaw, there's a reason to. I just don't know if he has the capabilities of being able to do something like that.
Yep, and there's another point of damage from the Kylo swing. Greg draws a 6 for Destiny. It's not Snoke. I can tell you that much. It is Snoke. As we see, there goes both characters. Oh, Pat's asking for a revert. Uh,
May have just forgotten to move or something like that.
or he wanted a battle and just clicked too fast. I don't know.
It's also
Yeah, because
possible.
he's in his move phase. Okay, Greg does allow it. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
Greg
trying to
initiates it.
revert, but it still gets put
Yeah,
back into move
it's not.
phase.
Yeah, it's gonna go back into the move phase. Oh my gosh,
Guys, don't do it.
you're gonna break the gap.
Yep, and they'll just. Oh, Shaw.
Yeah.
Like I said, the playtesting team is doing a lot to try and balance all the cards, and
And Pat
at the
initiates at
end
the
of the
back
day, it's
door.
not going to be perfect.
Utani's going to attempt to shoot the lone Valiant Stormtrooper. We do see a critical error reveal. So our lone little Stormtrooper is going to be hit. His forfeit is going to be 0. More importantly, it's Greg's going to win this. And we do see a GG. Well played. Congrats. Big congrats to Greg for making it insane finals. But again, congrats to Pat Johnson, your 2025 OCS champion.
Congratulations, Pat. Nice run.
So again, I think that's all we have for everybody tonight. We spoiled some cards. We watched an exciting finals. Any last words, Logan?
No, I always look forward to watching incredible players like Pat and Shaw play. So to get a good quality match, it's everything that you could hope for from an OCS final, and I look forward to hopefully seeing these guys out in Jersey in January. Let's go next major.
So I think, and that's all we got for everybody. Again, big thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. It's always a pleasure. Again, we're going to have we got set 26 coming out soon. Our next major, of course, is going to be in Boston, I believe. I believe the tournament committee is working on something fun. We also, I believe it is this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, Logan. I believe this year's the Outrider Cup.
Well, as somebody who's never made the team, I can't necessarily tell you when it is.
Uh,
I thought you were going to talk about the event that I really care about, and that's going to be our Snowy Worlds.
Snowy Worlds.
Dan, where do you think Worlds would be if I'm referring to it as a Snowy Worlds?
New Jersey.
Nobody cares about New Jersey. I'm sorry, Chris. I do need to borrow Luke's at some point. I'm talking about the other amazing snowy state. That is where we have. I
North
don't
Dakota.
Okay, there's nothing of value in North Dakota other than the beautiful Black Hills, but or that's South Dakota.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. It's always snowy in Pittsburgh during the winter.
So nobody ever wants to go to Pittsburgh, same way no one wants to go back to Jakku. But we have 9 months of snow and 3 months of road construction, and it would be awesome to see everybody in Minnesota this upcoming October, because I believe that's where it's been confirmed. I don't know for sure, so if I'm not, just cut this part out, but that's what I have been told, is they are working on trying to get it in Minnesota. So
who said this?
It was not confirmed, but that was what I would have been told. So I'm pushing for it. I'm advocating for it, because that would be a lot of fun, and I would be absolutely happy to show people around the beautiful state of Minnesota. It's October, so it could be 60 or it could be -20. Pack your swim trunks at that point too. Who knows?
Especially if you go 0-3 into the pool. But that's all we got for everybody tonight. Again, big thank you to everybody who watched. Large Pollock, we'll make sure you get your GEMP pack. Again, that's all I got. So everybody have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. And as always, may the force be with you. Good night,
Take
everybody.
care.